strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon. It goes something like that, right? Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to chat a little bit as I run some errands. What we're going to be talking about today is Karen, and her impact, or I guess lack thereof, on the standard format, and we'll talk a bit about expanded as well. So Karen has been released. She was legal for Florida regionals, and I can't say no one ever played Karen against me. Like I never had an opponent use Karen as a supporter. However, I do know some decks that did actually end up playing Karen, and I think that there was a lack thereof of Vespiquen because of Karen. Now, I'm making this video today to say that Karen really has not changed much and expanded, and I think that Karen, as much as I love her, she's an awesome gym leader, Elite Four member and everything, but I feel as though Karen is a card that was overhyped. And I think that you can still play decks in the standard format that Karen threatens, because to be honest, it's kind of one of those cards, because it exists, there's always that threat of it. However, people still are not gonna run it. So it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, it's in the format, you can't get hit by Karen if you're playing Vespiquen. However, who is going to actually be running Karen? And I think that a lot of people who ran it this weekend kind of even themselves have said, okay, well, I don't think I'm gonna play Karen. Karen was not a very helpful card, even in those decks where where you think that it might be beneficial to you, such as Matthew Brower, who I interviewed talking about the Raichu Rats. Brett Pybus, I'm gonna interview him later on. He played the Gardevoir that discards your Pokemon, and you would think, oh, Karen is just really good in there. However, Karen is just a really, really slow card. And when you use Karen in those decks like Raichu Bats and the decks like Gardevoir, it's kind of like you need a supporter in that same turn to go back and get those cards that you've gotten rid of. And sometimes you might, late game, you don't want to draw into certain Pokemon, and it can clunk your deck up. So I think that as far as the standard format, I think Karen was a bit overhyped. I am glad that she exists as a card, especially for expanded. I think that that's where she's much more needed because of Night March, because of Battle Compressor. The decks just get too degenerative, and Karen is a card that plays a role in a format like that. But because we don't have exploitation to that amount, we don't have that many decks that are able to exploit Pokemon being in the discard outside of Vespiquen, and even Vespiquen in this format is a lot slower than it used to be. So decks are better, I guess you could say, better equipped to handle Vespiquen as they were before. So that's what I have to say about Karen. Now, with that being said, I think that people shouldn't give up on Vespiquen. I think Vespiquen is still a really good play, all things considered, even with Karen in the format. Yes, it's there, but what are the odds that you're gonna hit it? I played 9 rounds yesterday. I don't think a single one of my opponents was playing Karen. So had I been playing Vespiquen, I could have breezed through if I was that confident in the deck. Now, can it take on what I perceive to be the best deck at the moment? I don't necessarily think so, but I do think Vespiquen is a very, very strong contender, even with Karen being here, because again, it's like the threat of Karen is there, but who's really playing it? And I think that the more and more people stop playing Vespiquen, or people stop getting afraid of Vespiquen, people will start to slip those Karens out of their decks, and that will allow for decks such as Vespiquen to, resurge or come back out of nowhere and start taking big events. Same thing that it could possibly happen in Expanded. You might have those people that are always going to be like, F Night March, I don't ever want to even think about losing to it, so I'm going to play Karen from now until Night March is out of the format. But you might also have those players that, oh, I played Karen at, 2 regionals and I never ran into Night March once, so I'm going to start to take it out. And then those Night March players are going to be like, gotcha. Even though Night March at this point, with so much trainer lock in the format, isn't really the best thing to play. So those are just my thoughts on Karen really quickly. I think it is a necessary card. Do I think Karen was overhyped? Yeah, definitely. And a lot of you guys might be like, oh, it's too early, but I think that the results kind of speak for themselves as far as standard goes. Now, as far as Expanded, honey, Miss Karen, do your thing, because you were needed. You were really needed. Alright, so stay tuned for more videos coming later on down the pipeline, later on down the week. And I hope you guys enjoyed this little quick mini Karen discussion. And I'll see you guys next time.